Alright guys, so this video gonna be race recap on the last race we went to. So we went out to I think it's the American Outlaw Points Race Series that Capital City Motorsports Park is having. They had a 470 race. It was the first one of the year. And so your previous race before that, we went to the Verge $10,000 loop to win race. And we went our first round and broke out. And I may do a video on that later, but the numbers didn't add up on that run, so I think it may have been something else going on. It caused me to break out there. But anyway, so the last race, guys, I was working on the car all day and kind of disgusted and hiding everything else. So just be honest, I didn't do a good job of filming and posting updates. So it's gonna be kind of like a race recap. So the first run out the trailer. Well, first of all, I wanted to test the car Friday, but I decided to pull the clutch out and freshen it up and make sure I had a good clutch. So I didn't get that done in time, so I wasn't able to test Friday. I still felt pretty good going into Saturday. I was gonna go early and make a test hit. But anyway, the first test hit Saturday, the car just didn't run right. Nitrous came on, the car started running real bad. And the first thought that came to my mind, man, I must have a plug wire off or something. But then I remembered I couldn't get my nitrous bottle pressure to act right. And I know I had 2 runs on that bottle, but the weight, I thought I'd get another run out of it. So if the car was running bad, I came back to the pits and checked everything, pulled all the plugs out. I got one lifter that keep getting one valve that keep backing up about 1 or 2 thousandths on me every run. So like, well, maybe I done messed up a lifter or something. But check that out, it was fine. So I was like, well, I must have just had an empty nitrous bottle, because when I went to purge the bottle on the starting line, the pressure fell off real fast, almost as if the bottle was empty. So I just wrote it off as I had an empty bottle. Put a new bottle in it, checked everything out, rechecked the valves, pulled all the plugs out, everything looked good. Went back out there. I think it went like a 513 or something on that run. So that was a test run. Went back out there first round qualifying, and car did the same thing. So like, man, I still got a problem here. I hardly ever purged the motor through the nitrous through the motor. When I got back to the pits, I said, man, I'm gonna purge the nitrous through the motor and just see what's going on. But when I did that, I realized that fitting under there, that purple fitting that's coming off that solenoid, that the fitting was broke. And so actually it was just spraying nitrous on it. Well, that's fuel. That's the fuel side of the nitrous. It was just spraying fuel under the intake. And that was the problem. I also noticed, I think I knew exactly when that broke too. Right after my burnout on the first run, the car idled up to like 2,000 RPM. I think that's when that fitting broke in the burnout. The car started sucking air and made it start idling higher. And actually, I adjusted the auto back down when I came back to the pits after the first run, but I never saw that. I was looking all over, never saw it. But anyway, when I went to purge the nitrous, fuel was just spraying out of there. So like, man, I done found the problem. And man, I made two runs down the track with fuel spraying straight on the intake, directly at the distributor. So that could have been bad. It could have been a fire. But anyway, I had to take all the nitrous lines and everything off and get that cylinder oil off and get the ease out and get the part that was broke off in the cylinder oil out. But anyway, I had one of those wires in the trailer, so we replaced that. Then we went back out there for second round qualifying. And I noticed the car popped real loud when the nitrous came on. The car still wasn't really running right. By half track, it seemed like the car started skipping again. But I already knew it was down on power. Another bad run. So I got back, pulled the hood off, and I instantly saw what was wrong. When I took all this stuff here loose, I hooked the nitrogen fuel line on the wrong spot on the nozzle. So I had the nitrogen fuel backwards. So like, well, I changed that around. By that time, I'm like, man, I done made 2 runs, spraying straight nitrous, no fuel. And then I done made another run, spraying way more fuel than nitrous. So like, man, I know this motor hurt now. So I got that, swapped that around, then first round was coming up. And when I did that first round, the car seemed like it was running pretty good, but I had track, car started running bad again. So like, man, I maybe the motor just hurt. I know I got a little smoking problem. I think I know my motor not sealed up like it should be from back last year when I had the rings, upside down. When I found that, I never went back and rehomed the block. So I know that's a problem. But anyway, so I got back to the house, pulled the plugs out, did a compression check. Ironically, I got a couple of cylinders that's down by 10, 15 pounds, but there's nothing major wrong with the motor. That number 2 intake over here, it's still slacking up. So I think I'm gonna pull that lift out and take a look at it. I got the bushing lifters in there. And these lifters are new, I rebuilt. So I just think I may have a lifter that's going out. But I noticed I had a plug that was real black. Really, really black. I know I had the fuel line backwards on the previous run before, but none of the plugs look like that. So my point right where I am right now, I think I may have had a bad plug. I think that motor probably was misfiring, and when I get to half track, that's what I would hear. That car would be running on 7 cylinders. So what I'm about to do now, I checked out all the plug wires. It's hard to see if you got a bad plug wire. I don't see any breaks or anything, and I don't see any hot spots, any burns, anything on that plug wire. So I think what I'm gonna do is put that plug back in the motor, probably put in number 2 hole, crank the motor up, do it the old school way. See if my header getting hot, and that at least let me know if I got a bad plug or what's going on with that. I just want to give y'all a quick update on the last race we went to. Yeah, we went out and we ended up going out first round. And it was one of those deals, when I was doing a decent job driving. I was I think the first run I was 19 on the tree. Second run I was 005. Next run I missed the tree because my mind was on something else. I was 70. And then in the next run, first round competition, I was 004. But I didn't have a car. To run the number. So probably next time I go out, car probably gonna be on the number, but I'm not gonna be on the tree. But y'all, that's all part of the race. But I appreciate y'all watching the video. Y'all stay tuned. Alright guys, so I cranked the motor up and checked everything out. Everything seemed to be fine. I think I'm gonna pull this number 2 lift out. See if I see anything going on with it. Alright guys, you see that? All I can hope is now I caught it in time before I messed up that cam. But from the way this look right here, I believe in the ate up the cam too. Well, from what I can see, I think the cam messed up too. Oh, I gotta pull it all the way apart now. Put a cam in it. And who knows how long that's gonna take to get a cam. Alright guys, so I got the cam back in. Got all the lifters back in, rock arms on. So I had put the water pump and the radiator and all back in. I'm gonna crank it up, make sure everything is okay before I finish it up.